So I think we'll start. So a warm welcome everyone to this evening of Portuguese fashion. I'm super happy to moderate this panel. I have a little bit of experience myself actually of Portuguese production. When I had a brand for a short period of time, and I traveled to Portugal many times actually to produce t-shirts, as it were. And I was really fascinated and impressed by the sustainability ambition of this country, and how humbly people were working with this and setting very high goals and very committed agendas for sustainability. I'm happy to introduce the panel, or rather I will let you introduce yourself. My name, by the way, is Katarina Midby, and I have just left the Swedish Fashion Association. I've been responsible for Fashion Week and many other initiatives with Swedish fashion brands. And prior to that, I was working with H&M and sustainability for many years. So I'm going to leave it to you to introduce yourself. Do you want to start, Maria José?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to be with you. My name is Maria José Ferreira. I'm coming from CITEVE, that is the Portuguese Footwear Research and Technological Centre. My background is chemistry, and I have a master and PhD in environmental sciences and engineering. I worked a couple of years in the university, and for the last 30 years at CITEVE. I have been managing a lot of projects, around 60 European projects and national projects. And since 2000, our footwear cluster decided that environment and social responsibility were top priorities. And I began working on that since that time, engaging in deploying new materials, new processes, new technologies, and recycling. And for the last years, I am coordinating our, let's say, sustainability action program that is going on, and you'll see some results here, but much more we have to tell you. So thank you, and I pass to my colleagues.
So hello all. My name is Fátima Santos, and I'm a mother. My background is from law. I'm a jurist, and I'm actually now the General Secretary of the Portuguese Jewelry Association. I do what I love, actually, because I'm proud to participate and encourage the path of the Portuguese jewelry from the last 10 years.
Thank you.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Ana Tavares. I'm from CITEVE. CITEVE is the Technological Centre for the Textiles and Clothing Industries in Portugal. And my background is chemical engineering. I started to work more or less 10 years ago, 7 of them in the textile industry. More recently, I joined the CITEVE to coordinate the sustainability and circular economy agenda, which is a hot topic for the Portuguese textile industry for sure. This was my job previously in the industry, so in a company of dyeing and finishing, and I'm now doing more or less the same job, but for the sector instead of only for a company. So CITEVE was born 30 years ago, and has evolved together with the needs of the industry. So it started to be like a quality control laboratory, and nowadays is a really technological center that works together with the industry, mostly on the development and the R&D of new materials and new technologies for the textile and clothing sector.
So it's interesting because all three of you represent different platforms for different sectors within the fashion industry, which we don't really have in the same way here in Scandinavia. We would just call it fashion, I suppose, whereas you actually have this very kind of clear platforms promoting, supporting, bringing together the different brands. So that's really cool, and it seems like you're making a lot of progress, specifically within technology and for sustainability purposes, of course. Anna, I want to start with you actually. Tell us a little bit about CITEVE. You are responsible for sustainability, bio and circular. And Portugal is a very traditional market in a way, but you also have a lot of ambitions and a very forefront position actually when it comes to sustainability, technology and innovation for that matter. What is the approach of working together with the producers of brands? How do you bring this together, the traditional part and the future, if you like, with technology and innovation? How do you bring it together?
Yeah. Well, I think two different things. So the industry itself made a very well-known journey in this sustainability topic, because I think so we are like a resilient sector. We are known because of our resilience, because we had some issues in the past that made us learn or be aware that to be in the market we need to be at the forefront of something. And in that case, so we were not in a position to compete by price. Some time ago we had China, and then we have the crisis in 2008 and 2009 that was quite awful for some companies, textile companies in Portugal, and this made the company owners and the top management understand that something has to change to be present still in the market. And I think with sustainability it was like more or less natural. So we are in a country that has very strict laws in terms of social responsibility, of environmental responsibility as well. So the sector just took these into the production side, let's say, and made this a competitive factor. So we brought to our companies these innovation technology together with something that we already had in our country. So this responsibility of in the production, and then CITEVE itself. As I said, it started like more than 30 years ago to be just a quality control lab, because it was the need of the sector at that time, and then evolved. Together with the industry, at some time bought some equipment to respond to the need of the market. So for the companies to have time to market, CITEVE supported these companies in that way, and then evolved until today, when we are more than 150 people working. And then we also have CENTI, which is the nanotechnology center that works also for other industries, not only for textiles, but also for textiles. So we have in our campus 300 specialists in the industry, let's say, which makes, I think, a very good presence for the companies together with the technological center, develop new materials, new processes, new ideas of businesses. So I guess this is something that makes Portugal special in this fashion ecosystem.
Exactly, and I think also with these goals and with these different processes, you also manage to kind of put yourself in a different segment when it comes to quality. I mean, it's now much more in a premium segment, I would say, than previously, which is a good thing. So quality and sustainability always kind of belong together in a way. Maria José, so Portugal, obviously we all know that Portugal is a lot about leather and footwear, and you are indeed one of the people we just heard about your background you are very much one of the driving forces between the work to make it more sustainable. Can you give us a quick overview of a Portuguese footwear, and maybe give us the strongest factors and main objectives for the I think more sustainable or even circular future?
Okay, thank you. Yes, I think one of the strongest factors is the.
Could you speak a little bit louder?
Louder?
Yeah,
louder.
please.
Yes, I was advising. Yes, I will put this up like this, maybe better. Okay, I will try to speak very loud. If you need, I will speak louder.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Portugal, we have big expertise in footwear manufacturing. This is a strong factor. And in high quality, innovative footwear. This is our bet. Now we export over 95% of what we produce to more than 150 countries in the 5 continents. In addition, a very strong factor is that we have support infrastructures for the industry, like APICAPS, the Footwear Association, that is managing communication, internationalization. This is very important. And also CTCP, the Technological Centre where I come from. I'm the responsible for the quality control labs and also the Director of Research and Sustainability. But we have many other balances, like training, like consultancy, like organization, like support in marketing, in all the areas that the companies need. We, together with APICAPS and other training institutes, we try to fulfill all the needs and to be in advance, to anticipate opportunities in order that our companies can engage on this. And sustainability is more than opportunity for us. Is a truly need. We believe that the world, that the people, that our way of living needs to change. And we want to go in advance and to make part of this change and build with you this change. So this is a strong position for us. Additionally, we are a very complete cluster, not only in premium experts in manufacturing footwear, but also companies that produce innovative materials, high quality materials for the upper, for the soles, and also production technologies. So 30 years ago, we bet on this, on innovation. And I believe that innovation is really at the core of our competitive strategy and is making, together with you, forward. This is always what we want, to engage with people, with customers, with clients, with you, and to move forward, to understand your needs, in order that we together can build our future, our common future. This strong cluster of footwear makers, materials makers, components, technologies, allows us to reply fast to your needs, but also to anticipate market trends, to anticipate fashion trends, and to be resilient. For example, during COVID, we were able to source locally most of the materials and components that we need to make our supplies to you, our products. I think another important issue now for us is that we are seeing what is happening around us in the world, and our industries, fashion industry together, we do contribute to a lot of carbon emissions, between 2 to 8% of the global carbon emissions, and this has really an effect in climate change. And our goal for the future is to give a contribution to control, to limit this global warming. And to this end, we are proposing, are doing, and are investing. We are planning to invest around 140 million euros in order to be leaders, to be a reference in the development of sustainable, innovative technologies. For example, new materials, new products that you can even, I don't know, eat, let's say, so kind to the environment, so kind to people that make the difference. The overall goal is, of course, to contribute to reduce our carbon emissions and be neutral by 2050, and we count on you to do this path and this work together. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, and we saw some interesting examples out here. I mean, we saw some recycled, really cool rubber soles. We saw apple leather. I don't know if you saw the leaf leather. That was also really cool. So yeah, there's a lot to do. I also asked you, but aren't people eating less meat now? So we will really have the same kind of the same opportunity to use leather. But then apparently we eat even more meat than ever on the planet, according to your research.
Yes,
so anyway, so that's, which is not great, is it? So we should all go for apples instead. Anyway, Fatima, the jewelry industry, it's, I mean, you're also moving to a different segment. It is a lot more luxury jewelry is being produced by the big brands in Portugal these days.
Yes.
And it's also an industry I know very much known for its heritage, its craftsmanship, and so forth. But it's also very innovative. I mean, I think that's where Portugal is really interesting. You have the tradition, you have the genuinity, but then you also have a lot of innovation.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I always like to present ourselves as Portuguese jewelry is a truly hidden gem. Every place I go and start talking about jewelry, it seems that I get a lot of attention, and I think that is because jewelry is connects with something emotional, and actually in Portugal we had it. Is more than an industry. It's kind of an art feeling that is passing generation after generation, but also is renewed by new entrepreneurs, by new designers, and we are trying to combine legacy with a new global mindset, which is super interesting. And now what we found when we are connecting with the world, and as you told, we are producing for big brands, is we are a little bit more than just a private label sector, because companies find us as a creative factory, co-production, the process with the brands and the designers, and we find actually super interesting because the production needs are solved with this connection with our companies. And as I told you, alongside with the private label, we have these new brands and new designers that are combining the new values of fair trade, ethnic, slow fashion, and making mainly tradition trendy, and that is super interesting.
Cool. Anna, I also noticed when I was in Portugal that the industry very much works together. You know, you work in clusters. So, for instance, I made T-shirts, so I could I could source the material, and then I could find a GOTS certified dyer. I could find the sustainable labeling, everything around the same area. You know, and everybody seemed to work together. What do you think is the secret behind this kind of sustainability focus in Portugal? And also, you talked a little bit about this already, but can you also talk us through what we see around this exhibition in terms of textiles, which is your area then, obviously?
Yeah. Well, in terms of textiles, if you go around, you will find brands there that some of them are producers, some of them are just brands, or brands and producers at the same time. And you can find a lot of different materials, most of them certified in some way, or like since using organic cotton or recycled polyester until the upcycling that you can see in the ties and so on. And this is something that is very common at the moment in Portugal. So every company, every textile company is already doing something. So some more, some other less, depending on even on the size of the company, because we are more than 98% of our companies are small and medium enterprises. Some of them small, and of course there is sometimes some lack of competencies where, for example, CITEVE acts in this specific case, and I think that the secret behind all of this work done so fast is exactly the thing that you go to Portugal and you can find, since the spinning until the garment making, everything in like 50 kilometers away. You have everything there. And this is something, when I was working within the industry, I had a problem with the dyeing somewhere, and I thought that could be because of the yarn. I took the phone, I said, oh, I need to go there for you to see, and I go there with the car, in 15 minutes or 30 minutes I'm there, and I solve the problem. And I think this makes the the Portuguese textile sector and in
that's
the other
same.
sectors the same.
Yeah. The
Unique,
proximity of it all.
and I think, as you see here, so footwear, jewelry, fashion, textiles, and so on. So the Portuguese fashion ecosystem is unique in Europe, and I think this has been recognized because of that. And of course, I think there is also some other factors. So the Portuguese people is be a part of the good weather and the good food that make everyone else happier and enjoy the country and so on. Apart from that, we are very, how can I say, welcoming people. So we know how to welcome people there, and we try to speak every time English, even people that speak less English, we try to communicate in the best way we can. We are investing a lot on our human resources, like training and so on. You see that companies are really committed to this change. Of course, my expertise is on the textiles, but I believe that in the other sectors is the same, and footwear is the same. We see a lot of movement as well, and sometimes even together. So I guess this is nice. And if you go around, as I said, even so, if you are a brand and you are looking for a producer, or if you are a retailer and you are looking for brands, you can find all of these in Portugal. And this proximity of the sectors make us to go faster. So the time to market is faster, the prices are still very acceptable, the responsibility in terms of environment and social
and it's very close.
Is there.
Yeah.
So I think this is what makes Portugal unique to produce fashion.
And I think now there's so much opportunity both for buyers and producers when we have when it's harder to get things from Asia, simply. So, Maria José, and we already talked a little bit about what's out here in the exhibition, but what's on the agenda? What's the latest when it comes to Portuguese footwear and leather?
Well, I think I could address four aspects, 4 main points. First, regarding sustainability, because I will focus on this because we have other kind of objectives. First, to move away from fossil resources use. This is a must.
Of course,
and to go to biological, meaning natural materials, biological materials, or even man-made materials based in biological issues. And this for us is quite sure that Europe needs to go this trend in address bioeconomy in order to be more resource efficient, to be more autonomous, more resilient in terms of materials resources. And also this will reduce our footprint, the footprint of our products. To this end, we are developing already and planning more in the future new materials, for example, using biomasses that now are discarded completely. I'm talking, for example, of vineyard biomasses, pine trees, cork, olive oil biomasses that are not competing with animal feeding, nor human feeding, of course, but are discarded. And we can extract ingredients or use these biomasses as such to make new materials that are okay, that not only from an environment point of view, but also from a functional point of view for footwear.
That would be more comfortable to wear than the synthetic leather, which is, let's face it, is not wonderful to wear.
Yes, that they will be.
I would rather wear apple or olive oil or something.
Yes, this is one point. The other is we need to develop, and already doing, you see here examples, new concepts of shoes. Shoes that are, shoes and bags that are, for example, bio. We have a project that is now almost spinning out with 70 partners that is called Bio Shoes for All. And that's what we want to give you. So shoes that have reduced carbon footprint, that embed real new materials and existing materials, because already there are materials like linen, like cotton, like flax, cayenne, and so on that are already very good, but need to be improved, need to be further developed to be functional for footwear, to be durable, because otherwise the environment will not compensated. So we need durable materials and shoes that can, for example, be repaired, shoes that can be cared and easy to maintain, and that you can nurture and preserve long time. High quality materials, of course, but also concepts like biodegradable or compostable, truly completely compostable shoes, shoes that are made with recyclable materials or recycled materials like you see here, concepts of shoes that you can dismantle, but in this way we need your help, we need your collaboration. Shoes that can be dismantled and recycled. This is a trend that we would like to invite you to for the future. And also other kind of more technical products like work or the diabetic footwear for special needs, but based on biomaterials. Apart from this, a third aspect very important is to develop some technologies, digital technologies and automatic technologies, for example, that help you and us in the traceability of the materials, traceability of the value chain, to give confidence to the consumer that it can check exactly things, and this done in a platform that is transparent, really include transparency in all the business. This is a must for us. And some automatization, some digitalization, robotic applications to reduce some pressure on the workers. So it's just to make repetitive works, more effort works more friendly. And finally, I will end going circular. So this is very important for the future, for our common future. And we are engaging in recycling all the production wastes that we do. So this is our main focus now. And you already see production waste being incorporated in soles. We are also collaborating with companies that are collecting real waste from the sea, from the beaches in Portugal. And in the future, as I mentioned, we would like to go circular in post-consumer products with you, and I invite you to join us on this.
And I think the recycled soles look really cool too, because you get that kind of that prickly kind of look with different colors. It looks really cool actually.
Yes.
So it's also from an aesthetic point of view interesting.
Yes.
And then we also have to educate our customers to also to care for their shoes and to recycle them and wear them longer, as you say. It's we have this habit of buying new things all the time, which of course we need to do also. And Fátima, what about the jewelry market? I know that you also want to go more fashion and more global, and how are you going to go about? Talk us through how you will do that.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, of course, but I must say that jewelry is a specific kind of product in terms of sustainability. Of course, there are a lot of issues in the production side, but I bet with you that nobody puts jewels on the garbage. It is eternal. It's a cycle. There isn't an end. At least you can melt it and do another jewel. But for us, for our association, of course, it is, as I told you, a work in progress. It's more. We want more that coming abroad and building a success sector. We want to connect with the fashion world, and this is the kind of approach that we are building together. And the association tends to work as an inspirational side when working with our companies. And we, in our latest campaign that you can find in our website or social media, we call it Travessia, which is the crossings. And of course, this is the time to make the crossing. We are all at this specific time building and finding new ways of doing things, of rethink our existence. So in Portugal, companies in jewelry are are doing that crossing, the thing between legacy and technology. It's kind of a hybrid approach, and connecting with fashion is gaining another path.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that you have some really prestigious and great premium brands that are working now with your different production outlets. So that's great. So so thank you for your insights, and I hope that you are all inspired by what we can see here in the exhibition. That is very beautifully put together by the Joanne Tan studio, I should say. I think this made me think of Porto at least. Any questions from the audience? Yeah, we have one.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us your name?
Yes, so my name is Richard Bloom. I work as a sustainability strategist for an organisation called The Natural Step. We have colleagues in Portugal as well. And I'm interested in this question now. In the last couple of years, things have been all in turmoil. And under COVID, there's been a lot of re-questioning now about globalisation, perhaps, and the local production. So I'm wondering if you think that this is playing to Portugal's advantage with this local setup, and whether it's going to be a permanent thing, or do you see it going, you have an advantage now because you're set up now for the localised production, but do you see it staying that way in future?
Anna, is this something you could answer?
The nearshoring trends, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it can be forever. Forever is a long time, but it can be for a long time. Because what we see that is happening at the moment in Portugal is when a brand comes to produce in Portugal, they stay. Like forever, because you can find everything you want.
Yeah.
So yes, I think this is exactly the moment to be present in the markets that we already are, but also on the new markets, and we have the chance to be there like forever. Because you can find the trust, and if you, I think I take the chance to invite you all to come and see with your eyes, because when you enter a factory in Portugal and when you feel this familiar feeling inside of the companies and this approach of proximity and so on, you feel like safe producing there. And this is something that is a trend in Portugal. That's why many brands are coming to Portugal to produce. So, in my opinion, yes.
And I think that just to add it to it, because we are crossing that, one of our identities is problem solving. Yeah, perhaps we are not good at strategic and see everything in advance. But once we are in the production, we solve it, and the answer is always a few steps ahead of us.
We have a word for that. Desenrascar.
Desenrascar. Yeah, we are known for that. So people like us and find us reliable because okay, there is a problem. No worries, we're gonna fix it. And it's problem solving.
Yes, fix on time, fix
There's
it fast and well.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think there is a lot of opportunity for Portugal at this, particularly at this time, actually, when the world is opening up again, and we all want to be closer to home when it comes to transport, to customs and everything that's been a problem over the last kind of couple of years, or 3 years almost. So, anyone else?
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yes, sure.
Sorry, I don't know if someone else is it okay?
Go on.
Yeah. Just also on circular economy, because I think this is the big thing now. Obviously, local production helps you on one end, also with production waste, and you can integrate that. But presumably, you still want to sell globally. So how do you promote circular economy in markets where you're selling the products that you want? And I'm thinking now about footwear. Here in Scandinavia, obviously circular economy is high on the agenda as well. Do you see does this influence where you want to sell the products? Or?
Maria José, this is for you.
Yes. Well, I think that in the development of new product concepts, this is an objective that we have, to have products that can be circular, either because they are made on one material and they can be recycled very easily, or either because we have new constructions, new ways of assembling, new designs, eco-design to support this. And in the future, yes, anticipate the footwear that you can separate and recycle, circulate, let's say, several parts. I do believe this is a trend, and will happen, will really happen. Of course, we need the engagement of the clients and of the consumers on this. So this is a teaching process. We have been doing a lot of teaching, a lot of training in Portugal for the workers, for the companies, but also for the consumers, for the society, and this needs to be open. But Europe and Sweden, for example, you are you are ahead. You have an enormous interest on sustainability, environmental responsibility, social responsibility. So we do count on you, and we know that you will move fast, and we will go together. But you comment on leather, for example, because you know we are experts on producing the soles and other materials, but also in leather. And we have a footwear that is made in different materials. We see the examples there of polymeric footwear that can already be recycled. So these examples there, you have 2 examples. If you buy, there is also already a platform ongoing in which you can send back the footwear to us and it will be recycled. So this is a true step that is already now done for you. But for other materials it's more complex, and we are working. And regarding leather, because there are some comments on leather for us, for footwear, you know, as user, is very comfortable material. So the leather is very flexible, leather adapts to your feet, leather breathes, so leather is not warm nor cold, leather is fire resistant, natural. So most of the materials that are technological materials, even with a lot of chemicals, they don't resist so well to fire and heat and so on. And leather is coming from the skins of animals that are used only to feed humans. And these hides are transformed in a novel material that can last for long time. Much longer than most, or I will not dare to say all, but most of the other materials that are available. So in this way, leather is recycling a sub-product of meat industry. Now the processes used in Europe are very friendly. We are even developed now processes, for example, in which we use waste from the paper industry, cellulose industry, and we use these liquids to treat the leather. You have a lot of cellulose industry here in Sweden, so we are using these materials to chemically treat the leather and have, let's say, a vegetable tanned leather, tanned with vegetable materials from the waste effluents. And during the use, you have already washable leather. You can wash footwear made in leather. You can put creams and preserve and restore the leather. So it's quite a durable material, and footwear made in this way are quite durable. So just a comment.
Thank you, Maria José. There's so much knowledge here.
Yes.
I think we want to thank you so much, our lovely panel. And as you understand, there is a lot to learn here. So please connect with our speakers afterwards. Check out the exhibition, have some lovely wine and cheese and food, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.